Just
Welcome to night 3 of the Bahamas National High School Basketball Championships. I'm Ronaldo Dorset alongside Shane Stubbs. And we have a matchup here tonight of two of the perennial contenders here in Grand Bahama and in New Providence in the GSSA. Of course, the #1 ranked Doris Johnson Mystic Marlins and the defending champion Tabernacle Baptist Academy Falcons. Shane, how do you see this one playing out?
seeing that this is the first time that these teams are seeing each other, I think it's going to be pretty close. I'm sure this is a game that Coach Kevin Clark had marked out on his calendar, and he really wants to take it to this Mystic Marlins team that's heavily the heavy favorites to win this tournament.
Now, last year, these teams were in the complete opposite position. You had Doris Johnson. They were the up-and-coming team, the team looking to pull off an upset against Tabernacle. Tabernacle, of course, was the dominant team last year, winning every tournament that they were in. Role reversal this year. Doris Johnson, of course, they have two of the big three already under their belt. They have the league championship. They have the Hugh Campbell. Now they want to claim the biggest prize here at Nationals. What kind of challenge do you think Tabernacle can present to them tonight?
Well, they can definitely present a heavily experienced challenge for this Mystic Marlins team. You know, Coach Clark, he does a great job of coaching his young guys up. They still got Joshua. They still got Ethan Monroe. Ramad Dean is definitely coming to his own. And just, they're going to have to look for a fourth option. They've kind of done it by committee. So really look forward to, you know, Isaiah Brennan, Trayvon, Eileen, and maybe one more person I can't name right now. But
yeah, I mean, they will have to get it done by committee. So the path to this point, both of these teams wins in their first two games. So one of these teams will have their first loss of the tournament tonight. Doris Johnson winning both of their games by 8. They opened with a 45-37 win over Jack Hayward, one that I think was tougher than we thought it would be. Then they followed with a 43-35 win over Government High. And on the other side, Tabernacle blew out Prince Will in their first game, 42-28. And in the second game, they beat CC Sweeting 46-38. So, you know, Doris Johnson has been tested. Tabernacle wasn't really tested in the first game, but it was a close game against CC Sweeting up until that fourth quarter. So, as we mentioned earlier on the previous broadcast, when you get down into day 3, day 4, depth starts to play a factor. The wear and tear on your legs after playing a few days also plays a factor. We know one thing about Tabernacle, you talked about their supporting cast, but they have a very short bench.
right.
Coach Clark only goes about 7 players deep.
But this is definitely one challenge that this team is up to. And I'm pretty sure, you know, they're going to really test this Mystic Marlins team again. But, you know, the Mystic Marlins, they always find a way to win. They're never rattled. And I really expect this one to kind of go down to the wire.
All right, so just minutes away from tip-off here. Tabernacle in their traditional North Carolina blues. Doris Johnson in the white checkerboard uniforms. Do they call that checkerboard? I don't know. What do they call that? Because it's not exactly a checkerboard, because it's kind of twisted and diagonal. I don't know. They're the ones not in the blue uniforms. So Tabernacle wins the tip, and Ethan Monroe controls at the top of the key. He's been one of the most reliable three-point shooters in the tournament so far, and the minute I call him reliable, there's a turnover. Janice Shepard will bring it the other way. The 5 on the court for the Mystic Marlins. You have Janice Shepard, Joshua Burrows in the backcourt, along with Taiko Lowe, as Lowe turns it over. In the front court, a different starting 5. Jathan Bell is up front, along with Michael Balfour. For the Falcons, their traditional 5 is out there. Ethan Monroe at the point, along with Isaiah Brennan. Joshua Dames is out there. In the front court, Roma Dean and Donato Adderley. So Shepard with the steal and the easy left-hand layup for the game's first basket.
These are two teams who utilize that press, you know, almost expertly. And, you know, Doris Johnson, they came out the gate going to it.
Big call there, because the Falcons are going to need Roma Dean throughout the course of this game. It's interesting, not sure why Malachi McCoy is not in the starting lineup for the Mystic Marlins, but he's his team's captain. He's the leading rebounder in this tournament, getting over 11 a game. Michael Balfour gets the start at the 5 spot. You see him there picking up the blocking call on Dean's drive to the basket. You mentioned Dean coming into his own now. You know, he was that prodigy that was on the junior squad and was playing up a level, but now you see him more familiar playing with the seniors now. How have you seen his game develop? I know he's already getting offers from major programs.
Right. He basically was definitely on that team last year, when they made that national title run. So he kind of got a lot of experience, playing under Desmond and those guys. But this year, he kind of really opened up his game. He's taking a lot of guys off the dribble. He's knocking down the 3 ball. He's really showing why he's, worthy of getting all those offers. And he's definitely going to play a major role, with these Falcons if they definitely want to, defend their title.
And what I think has been impressive about him, just watching him over the course of this tournament, is that he's not the traditional quote-unquote big in the Bahamas where, you're 6'4", 6'5", they're going to tell you play down in the post. He recognizes that his game is going to have to translate to the wing at the next level. So he's taking a lot of 3-point shots. You mentioned he's taking guys off the dribble because that's eventually you want to get to the U.S. That's the goal for 90% of these kids out there. So he knows what that's going to take, and he's doing that at this point.
Right, and that was, I think, almost a scary sight, for teams at the beginning of the year when Coach Clark kind of told him, you know what, go out there and play your game. Show them what you can do. Show them why you're one of the most talented players on the island and, arguably the nation. So
a slow pace so far this game. Of course, these two teams are going to pick it up. And Lowe drives the basket. His floater to regain the lead for the Mystic Marlins. Dean gets past the press and gets an easy basket. I was about to say Tabernacle looked like they were having a bit of ball handling issues in the backcourt, trying to beat the defense of Doris Johnson, but eventually once they get it to Dean, he was fine.
Yeah, that's kind of been a chink in the Falcons' armor this year. They don't have a true ball handler. They lost that when Desmond Butler, graduated from the program. So,
well, they had 2 guys last year that, because when Desmond wasn't in the game or he was playing off the ball, you had Alfredo Brown handle the ball pretty well too. So you had 2 really good point guards. Now you lose both of those guys. See again, and there you see ball handling issues. It's even on possessions where they get by it, it still looks like it's difficult for Tabernacle to move the ball. You can tell at some point Doris Johnson's going to use this to make a run in this game. And there you go. There's a steal right away.
Yeah, that's going to be
Low again with another easy basket.
Yeah, it's beginning to become a big issue for this Falcons team. But once they can settle down and get past this press, they should be in good standing.
And Balfour, after the block, he throws it away. They had a 2-on-1 break, but Balfour just threw it directly to Ethan Monroe. And Monroe, and that one just rims out. He's made more 3-pointers than anyone in the tournament so far, so expect him to shoot that early and often.
Yeah, his 3-point shooting all year has been something that's really got this Falcons team out and running, and now again, hopefully, they've never really relied on the 3-ball, but hey, you see, I think they're going to go to it a lot.
So Brennan pulls up and hits the long-range 2-pointer. Shepard gets it mid-post, gets a step, and he draws the foul. Let's see if that's going to be on Dean. Yep, you get the first foul call on Romad Dean. No, Shepard will go to the line and shooting 2. Malachi McCoy will check in now. Michael Balfour checks out for the Mystic Marlins. So for Adderley and Dean in the front court, they are going to have to do they have probably the toughest assignment of this game, and that's keeping Malachi McCoy off the boards. He's going to score a lot of his points off offensive rebounds and putbacks. So that's something they have to be very cognizant of. And as a big, he runs the floor just as well as the guards.
Yeah, this is going to be a big, big matchup for Dean, and especially for Adderley. They've definitely got to make sure they keep a body on McCoy and make sure, they keep him grounded a little bit.
So Matthew Sanders checks in for Doris Johnson. Joshua Dames with his first shot of the game. His three-pointer just off the mark. Here's Monroe, top of the key. Dean now trying to take somebody off the dribble, just like we talked about, and he draws another foul, so he will go to the line again. Interesting setup for Tabernacle. They had Dean and Adderley. They're two front court players, both of them playing on the wings. So no real offensive rebounding presence. But Dean made something out of it, and he'll go to the line with a chance to cut the lead to 1. Misses the second. Burrows with the rebound, and he'll bring it up court. Gets it to Bell. He drives middle. There's McCoy on the offensive boards, but that one just rims out. Second chance points. Looks like it'll be a premium for Doris Johnson. They had 4 opportunities at it, didn't come up with it. They always say never foul a jump shooter. I mean,
he really argued that goal. He felt he got to the ball before he made any kind of body contact. But
and when a guy doesn't argue the call at all, I think it validates you as a ref. Like, yeah, I made the right call. Because people argue every single call all the time. So if you just chalked it up and you was like, yeah, you got me, I fouled him, I feel like as a ref, you feel like you did a good job. Yeah. So Monroe will shoot 3. So we got a tie ball game early. 1:38 left in the first quarter. Monroe sinks all 3, and Tabernacle has their first lead of the game. So Shepard will check back in for Jathan Bell. Falcons still with their same 5. Their starters have gone the duration of the first quarter. Shepard wide open, passes up on the 3, drives the lane. He's going to pick up a block on Adderley. Janice Shepard will go to the line again. So Shepard missed his first 2 at the line, makes those 2, and regains the lead for Doris Johnson. Although they won, he's one of this team's leading scorers, and last game, he shot 1 for 12 from the field. So obviously much more offensive-minded coming out here, determined to have a much better game, and he's done that. 7 points already for Shepard.
Yeah, once you're a shooter, you're not going to be in a slump too long. It's just going to take you, to get a few to go down, and you're just right back in there.
And Burrows with the high floater off the glass. 3-point lead for the Mystic Marlins now. Dames with the spin. And it's going to be called a travel. Trevon Aline checking into the game for the first time. His first touch, it was almost a highlight reel assist, but the front court of Doris Johnson.
Right.
Just everybody denied it on that play.
It looked like a jump ball, but
Burrows shot fake, one dribble. And he's money with that nearly every time. You'll see him pass up on those threes, take that one dribble after that pump fake, and he gets a wide open jumper.
that's kind of a lost art in today's game.
He's one of the few players we see at this level that does that on a consistent basis.
Tabernacle a little sloppy with the ball now. They don't want to let the Mystic Marlins get ahead of steam.
Ryland Sanders now gets it to Shepard. 8 seconds left. Mystic Marlins will hold for the last shot. Gets it to McCoy. And even though he was fouled, you see off that miss, he was the first one to the ball.
Yeah, he's got a great reaction time when it comes, makes him misses off the rim.
And McCoy makes the first. His first point of the game. Misses the second. Brennan will heave it up from half court. That's no good. So Doris Johnson takes a 16-10 lead at the end of the first quarter. Much better start for this team than we saw the last time they played.
Yeah, definitely. And, we all know what happened. They kind of took their foot off the gas pedal.
Exactly.
And you don't expect them to do that right now. They definitely don't want to do that with a Tabernacle team. So
I was just about to say, the last time the Doris Johnson team played, they had a start. It wasn't this good of a start, but they had a good start. They built up an advantage over GHS, took their foot off the gas, and GHS came from out of nowhere and made that a ball game. I think Coach Bowles went with his bench a little too long in that one and got a bit too complacent. I think he knows better than to do that with Tabernacle.
Yeah, he knows Tabernacle is a very experienced team and a much more talented team than GHS. So
You can tell you from Freeport.
Huh?
I'm just saying you can tell you from Freeport. It's kind of obvious.
The experience, what you mean?
That's not. Hey, listen, talk of your people. Talk of your people.
All right, look. But yeah, the Falcons.
16-10.
I guess you guys got the sense that it's going to be a feeling out process between these two teams, and I think now Clark kind of knows what their game plan is. I guess you could expect a counter right now from the Falcons.
So 4 of the 5 starters remain on the floor for the Mystic Marlins. McCoy didn't start this game, but he's this team's best player. He's the team captain. I'm going to consider him a starter. So you got McCoy out there with 4 guards: Burrows, Shepard, Lowe, and Matthew Sanders. The Falcons will trot out Monroe, Dames, Adderley, Dean.
That figures to be
and
a lot of shooting out there with McCoy.
So both teams essentially running 4 guards and 1 front court player. Monroe looking to penetrate. And when he's not shooting the ball, I think Ethan Monroe has provided a spark just with his penetration. Being able to get his spots in the lane pretty much wherever he wants to.
Yeah, you see.
It's going to be difficult for the Doris Johnson backcourt to stay in front of him.
Yeah, he's definitely become really great at, getting defenders to draw in and, overcommit. And in most cases, he always finds somebody open on the wing to, make a play.
So Nathaniel Bain, number 24, also checks in for Tabernacle. So we said they go 7 deep. That's been the 7 players now in the game. Dame shot fake. Gets it out to Bain. He gets tied up in the air looking for a foul. He doesn't get it, but the Falcons will retain possession. Joshua Dames scoreless in the first. Former Hugh Campbell MVP, junior national team player. One of the leaders of this the leader of this Falcons ball club. See him calling for the ball on the wing. He knows that his team is in a tough spot right now, down 6. He has to find a way to create. Bain again is stripped. Here comes Burrows the other way. Leaves it for McCoy, but that one misses. Adderley sidesteps the charge. It's going to be a block on Jathan Bell.
Yeah, you've kind of seen teams have these kind of spells early on in the game where he doesn't gather much offense, but he definitely tries to make up for it on the defensive end. And you can figure now he's definitely going to start looking for his spots now and draining a couple threes, maybe getting to the rim and making something happen.
Yeah, well, this year has been all about the transition for him becoming that number 1 option, the person that the entire defense is game planning for. So he's the guy, whether they're up 20, down 20, he's the guy that that's who the defense is going to come out and key to try to stop.
Yeah, and he's never shied away from that. All year, you know, he's been the glue guy for this team, you know, keep them wrapped together off the court and on the court, you know, especially when they had that time where they were trying to, you know, figure themselves out after, you know, coming off a national title win.
Dames now with the steal, a chance for his first basket, and there it is. So Joshua Dames with a fast break layup, 4-point lead for Doris Johnson. First score of this second quarter. Bell is called for a travel. So another turnover, and Coach Bull calls for time. So Janice Shepard leading all scorers with 7. Roma Dean with 5 for Tabernacle. Neither team shooting it really well at this point. Tabernacle, though, just 3 for 10 from the field. Doris Johnson slightly better, but not by much. Shooting 37%, 6 for 16.
I guess it's the kind of up and down pace you expected from these two teams, you know. As we know, this is what the Mystic Marlins always want to do, but the Tabernacle Falcons, you know, they have no problem running and gunning.
They actually looked more comfortable when they were on the run getting steals. And you see Doris Johnson took the trap off. So the game has slowed down. Now they're going to go half court. And they draw the turnover. Bain so far Bain has been struggling since he came into this game.
Yeah.
He had a near turnover, a shot clock violation, and right there steps on the sideline. So that's 2 turnovers for him in 3 possessions.
Yeah, turnovers have plagued Bain, you know, this entire season, and I think the Marlins are kind of going to hone in on that.
And there again, he mishandles the ball, and Doris Johnson comes up with the steal.
And this is the key issue here. The Falcons, they lack a very true ball handler, and when you tend to put the ball in the wrong hands, it's not going to play right for you.
Burrows takes the 3 from the left wing. That's long, but a long rebound goes to the hands of the Mystic Marlins. Burrows again, turnaround jumper in the lane, rims out. Balfour, 3rd shot opportunity. Jump ball, possession arrow stays to Doris Johnson. Burrows gets it inside to Balfour. That's going to be a foul on Dames. No, they called it on Dean, and that's his third. So 3 fouls on Roma Dean, and that is going to be a huge issue for Tabernacle. So Dames and Monroe in the backcourt will have to be even more aggressive at this point. Losing Roma Dean for what I assume is the remainder of this first half with 3 fouls.
Definitely, but they've got Isaiah Brennan out there. He's definitely gonna have to start, looking for his offense. But they have some great rim protectors. Eileen is a solid rim protector, and they have Adderley. So rebounding and rim protection, they won't lose out on. But Isaiah now is gonna have to step it up.
Well, their problem now is just keeping control of the ball. Their ball handling has been suspect is a nice way to put it, but it's turnover after turnover. Nearly every trip up court. Burrows with the shot fake, pull up J, rims out.
But the thing about this whole stretch of turnovers, the Mystic Marlins have yet to really capitalize on it.
So they close out on Monroe for the 3. He drives his floaters off. So 8 turnovers so far for Tabernacle, just 2 for Doris Johnson. Checking in for the Falcons is Jared Hall. He comes in for Brennan. Low with the crossover, dishes it to Burrows, and Burrows turns it over.
Hall's got some big minutes ahead of him. He's a junior player in their under 15 program, and right now I guess they brought him in basically for ball handling purposes, and also he is a shooter. He is a shooter, so that's something the Mystic Marlins need to watch out for.
Well, they're going to have to try to find the spark from somewhere. Like we said, with Dean missing, you're going to have to get offense from somewhere. And like they had him play up last year for the Nationals, I assume, Coach Clark is doing the same thing with Hall, having him play up a level just to get that early experience. So the refs now discussing the last call. We don't have replay, so trust their judgment.
It's going to come down to which bench actually argues their point the best.
So Joshua Burrows checks out. Jathan Bell will return to the game. So the Mystic Marlins have Richard Lowe, Taiko Lowe, Malachi McCoy, who just checked in for Balfour, Bell, and Matthew Saunders in the game. Donato Adderley at the line, shooting 2. Adderley back rims them both. Low with the rebound. Saunders gets it inside to Bell. He goes for the jump hook. He'll go to the line and shoot 2. both of these teams struggling to score in a second quarter that slowed to a ridiculous pace.
I feel like it's our fault. Whenever we call these games, we get an extremely, extremely slow period.
I mean, I ain't blaming me. I mean, you could say it's your fault.
It ain't my fault.
Bell misses both, and Richard Lowe is stripped. So just 3 points between these teams, and we have less than 2 minutes to go here in the second, sorry. Adderley is going to be called for a travel. As Malachi McCoy not getting something that's going to show up on the stat sheet, but definitely changing that shot, making Adderley think about it. Had an easy layup off that great feed, unable to come up with it. Saunders now looking for Bell. Bell drives, he's stripped. Dames comes up with it. Dames races full court. Blocked by Richard Lowe, but Jathan Bell knocks it out of bounds. But that's what Dames has to continue to do. He has to try and be more aggressive. Janice Shepard now checks in. Richard Lowe comes out. You've got to attack McCoy. You've got to attack the bigs from Doris Johnson.
But apparently that's the only chance Dames has really had to be aggressive in this game. You know, he's trying to make things work from the perimeter, but, you know, the Mystic Marlins have really been making it difficult for this team in the second period.
Well, that's what makes this team so good. Not only are they efficient on offense, but they're probably the best defensive team in this tournament. And you see at times when they turn that defensive intensity up a notch, we haven't seen anyone that's been able to match up to that. The closest I've seen is St. George's in the final of the Hugh Campbell. Dames goes all the way, but his shot misses.
Interesting no call.
And Travon Allen with the rebound and the putback, and an opportunity for a three-point play. And that's something the Falcons desperately needed. So Matthew Sanders picks up his first. Arlene bricks it off the backboard. Adderley nearly comes up with the steal. But Doris Johnson will keep possession here. Lowe gets it to Bell. In the hands of Shepard. McCoy will set the screen. Looking for Bell in the corner, but it's deflected.
And this is what we've seen a lot from a lot of teams in this tournament. A lot of teams have really put an emphasis on defense in the first half. And these two teams are really going at it defensively.
And that's another turnover there. Falcons get it right back. 30 seconds on the game clock, 24 seconds on the shot clock. So they get it to Ali and Adderley now. Bad foul by Doris Johnson. Let's see if that one goes on McCoy. So less 21 seconds left in the half, and you foul the Falcons center handling the ball in their mid-court. That's not the way you want your big to pick up a cheap foul. Okay. Adderley now 0 for 3 at the line, and he's out there begging for one to drop. 0 for 4 at the line at this point. 0 for 5. So 14 seconds left. I was just about to say they'll hold for the last shot,
But
Janice Shepard turns it over on the travel. Inbound to Adderley. He's got to look to give that ball up. Hall passes up a three, and he gets it back. 2 seconds left, and Monroe loses it. You've got to at least give yourself a chance and get a shot up.
definitely.
So that'll do it for the first half. Neither team played really well. A very sloppy first half. Doris Johnson clinging to a 3-point lead, but if you're Tabernacle, you're just one possession away, so they have to feel good about where they're at right now.
Definitely, but it's going to be interesting to see what they do to, counteract, the Marlins' defense, because they've really taken it to them. They've really rattled them. The poise doesn't seem to be there, for this Falcons team right now.
So that'll do it for the first half. We'll be back for the third quarter of a very closely played game. Doris Johnson up 17-14 on Tabernacle.
Good job again, guys. Settled, but the Marlins, they never stop coming at you, so should make for an interesting second half.
Monroe right away takes that three from the corner. It's no good. Rebounded by Taiko Lowe. And he's fouled. No, he's going to be called for a foul.
But for the Falcons, can they weather the storm? They don't have Ramad Dean. He's in foul trouble. He has 3 on him.
That had to be one of the worst quarters that we saw in this year's tournament. And Aline with the putback. Nobody boxes out. And Aline with the putback jam. So just 5 points between both teams in the second quarter right away. The Falcons get a dunk on their second possession. Let's see if that gets their offense rolling now. Brennan shot fake on the 3, gets it to Monroe. He'll take it, and he misses it. Burrows with the floater in the lane, no good. Rebounded by Adderley. The Falcons still hanging around in this low-scoring ball game with a chance to take their first lead here. Monroe again for 3, blocked by Jathan Bell.
And the Marlins know Monroe is not gun shy. He's going to let it fly whenever he feels he even has the slightest look, and just a great play by the Marlins.
Horrible foul, just as we were going to talk about the Mystic Marlins defense earning another shot clock violation. But they end up fouling with a second left on the clock, and Adderley goes to the line. Now, it may not be as bad of a foul as you think, because Adderley is 0 for 5 from the line now. He'll probably make it because I said that, and he did. I mean, that's just how it works. We're tied at 17. Adderley makes them both, and the Falcons get their first lead of the game. 4:26 left to play in the third quarter. This has been some drought that Doris Johnson has been in. 1 point in the second quarter, yet to score here in the third. Burrows surveys the court, tries to get it to Balfour. Balfour corrals it. Nearly called for a charge. Brennan comes away with it. Series of crossovers ahead to Monroe, and he's going to be fouled.
The Falcons very aggressive here offensively.
And with the level of frustration that Doris Johnson has had to build up over the course of, players know when it's getting tight when you're in a drought. You just don't want that frustration to boil over onto the floor, because then you start pointing fingers.
Right, and the Marlins have proven, they have a lot of chemistry, and, they don't get too much into finger pointing, but in this kind of game, you could see that from time to time. The key is just not to get too settled into doing that.
So Ali nearly with another putback. McCoy misses his chance at the rebound. Finally gets that one. And he'll just bring it up court himself. Dribbles directly into a trap. Matthew Sanders checks in. McCoy will check out. Brennan called for a foul just a moment ago. Shepard pump fakes off the 3. tries to get into the lane with a dish to Balfour. Balfour is short. Joshua Dames, full head of steam, and he's fouled. Somebody from Doris Johnson has to get a bucket. It literally feels like it's been forever since this team has had a made field goal. The one free throw from Shepard, their only points in the second. Brennan passes up a three, gets it to Dames. Rims out.
But a lot of the Marlins offense came off fast breaks, and the Falcons have done a good job coming out in the second half, kind of being poised and not turning the ball over as much.
So after the Jathan Bell miss, jostling for the rebound, it appears that Donardo Adderley has trouble getting up. Looks like he's just going to walk this one off. Dean will finally check back into the ball game. And that's the thing about it. The Falcons were able to take control of this game, get this 1 point lead, and Dean has been sitting since the early moments of the second quarter.
Right. But the tricky part with Dean now is, the Marlins know he has 3 fouls. 1 foul on him now, he just goes right back to the bench.
I mean, what did it even matter? They can't score. Janice Shepard misses the easiest shot he'll probably have all game. Dean now aggressive right away. Horrible series for Shepard. You missed the layup, and then you get called for a block.
But on that play, you could tell Dean, he was itching to get back to this game before the half went out.
And that's 3 fouls on Shepard. Nearly 4. That could have been 4 for either one of them. That matchup is going to be very crucial for us to watch. Shepard with 3, as does Dean have 3. Balfour in the post, shot fake, his floater, and they finally get one. The first Mystic Marlins field goal since the first quarter.
Ooh, 4th on Shepard. Third, sorry.
And Tabernacle will play the final 2:25 in the bonus. And Dames makes the second to regain that lead for the Falcons. Low with a bad pass. Balfour again with the jump hook. That's no good. Falcons get it ahead to Dames. He's trapped in the corner. Mystic Marlins come away with it. Taiko Low. He makes a fast break layup.
Interesting to see they're sending 2 at Dames every time he touches the ball.
They're also fouling him almost every time he touches the ball. And Dames appears hurt. So you see Dames waving off any medical assistance, waving off a sub. And he's saying, I'm staying in there. This game, you could feel the intensity in this one now. They know what the stakes are. You could feel the tension also. It's getting a little chippy out there.
Definitely, this has big game feel all over it.
And Tristan Seymour checks in now for Burrows. And we will have a timeout, so Dames will get a chance to recover a bit before he goes to the line to shoot 2 again. good things happen for this team, for this Falcons team, when Joshua James has the ball in his hand. Either he's getting fouled and he's going to the line. He's the team's most reliable free throw shooter, or he's making a play for someone else. Also, Allen is giving them great minutes off the bench. Not only on the boards, but he had that putback dunk that sparked this run to give them this lead.
Yeah, definitely. Like I said earlier, they look for that fourth option by committee. And Eileen, being a triathlete that he is, he's definitely come in and given the Falcons a spark, maintain their edge and, maintain their presence in this game when it could have got a lot worse for them.
So Dames will be at the line to shoot 2. Made his last 2. For the game, he's 2 for 3 at the line. Now 3 for 4. So just 1 for 6 from the field, but right now he leads the Falcons with 6 points. And they again have a 1-point lead. Bell with the acrobatic finish. And now the Mystic Marlins are starting to put some points on the board. Dean gets it in the corner, drives baseline. And he is going to be called. Walkout charge. That's 4 on Romad Dean. Called for a charge. Driving baseline. And we won't see him again until the 4th quarter. So fouls have pretty much eliminated Romad Dean from this game. But Tabernacle still right there.
But on the other side, Shepard also was sent to relegated to the bench, being in foul trouble. So a little balance there.
Bell with another driving layup. And he right now is the guy with the hot hand for Doris Johnson. Trevon Allen.
That's what he does.
That one gets the crowd going, and it got Doris Johnson thrown off of their game so much that Seymour just let the ball go out of bounds. Miscommunication on defense, and Adderley gets the layup. So for the second time in this quarter, Trevon Allen gets a putback dunk to get this Falcons offense going. There he is deflecting a pass on the defensive end. Balfour gets it into low. Blocked by Allen. Brennan's floater is good. Tabernacle now with a 3-point lead. Bell goes behind the back. Lowe gets it in the corner, shot fake. Dish to Balfour, and he's going to draw a foul. So that 4th option you talked about, maybe it doesn't have to be by committee. Maybe Allen could just do it all on his own. 6 points and 8 boards off the bench. And the Falcons actually have not missed Romad Dean not being in the game because of his production.
Yeah, but Allen's been solid off the bench all year for this team. And he knows this is a big moment. One of the big players is out, so the spotlight is on him now. He's got to play some big minutes, and he's filling that role really well.
So Balfour misses 2. The Falcons get the ball, and the remainder of the Falcons team, everybody was clapping for Adderley to give that one up. The guards on the wings, they were clapping for him to give that one up. He takes it the length of the floor, called for a charge. So instead of a 2-on-1 break, you end up with a turnover.
Interestingly enough, he's had moments in the season where he's done that, and it actually paid off well. It just came up unlucky there.
So Lowe will drive the lane. Allen with the block. Ken Monroe beat the clock. And Jathan Bell fouls him right at the buzzer. So Ethan Monroe will go to the line to shoot 2 to end the 3rd quarter.
you get the sense that Grand Bahama doesn't matter what school the fans are go to. You get the sense that they really want the Falcons to win this game.
I mean, well, yeah, when the number 1 seed comes from Nassau and you have a chance to pull an upset against them, that's a no-brainer. Everyone in the gym from Grand Bahama is going to go for the Grand Bahama team. That's just the way it is, and that's the kind of thing that makes the games compelling. So Monroe makes one, and headed into the fourth quarter, Tabernacle will take a 29-25 lead. All tournament, you've been saying Doris Johnson finds a way to win these games when it seems like they're out of it, when it seems like they're done. They just find a way to scratch and claw their way back into it. Now, it's only a 2-possession game.
Right.
So they're not out of it by any means. We know with this defense, they can turn it over quickly and get easy baskets. But right now, momentum completely on the Falcons side.
Right, definitely. And, Clark is definitely preparing his team. He knows that stretch of defense is coming. So he just basically wants, tell his team, remember, stay composed, do what's got you here. You have a 4-point lead. Don't get too overzealous. Just continue to play. Stick with the game plan. But with the Marlins, it's almost like there's no way to prepare for what they do.
So Doris Johnson, 16 points in the first quarter when they took that 16-10 lead. Since then, over the course of the second and third, they've only scored 9. Outscored in the third quarter, 15-8. So they have struggled since. Now, I don't know if you credit the defense of Tabernacle or it's the Mystic Marlins just not playing up to par, but something has gone wrong with this team since that first quarter. And if they don't find a way to fix it over the course of the next 6 minutes, they will have their first loss of this tournament.
But like I said before, these two teams have never seen each other, and I'm sure they would have liked to see each other in Hugh Campbell, to get familiar with each other. So that probably is playing a big factor for the Marlins as well.
So Burrows drives the lane and he misses. Dames gets the rebound. A great pass ahead to Monroe. Joshua Dames doing all the little things, and now his team has a 6-point lead. And he comes up with a steal. Monroe, 3-on-1 break. Brennan misses the lefty layup. That could be big. Tabernacle now with their biggest lead of the game. 5:15 left in the fourth. Dames again playing the passing lanes, 2-on-1. So 2 steals, but twice the Falcons unable to finish fast breaks. And now they're thinking about what could have been, because 2 easy fast breaks, you could have been up 10 at this point.
Definitely, and that's also been something that's actually shot the Falcons in the foot. They get too pass happy, and they come away with silly turnovers, and that like they did in that situation.
If Shepard gets doubled, gets it to Saunders. Big bucket from Matthew Saunders. And here comes the Falcons the other way. Monroe. 1-on-1 with Bethel. Refuses the screen from Eileen, and now he brings it again. Monroe turns the corner, goes for the pull-up J, and he draws a foul on McCoy. So Monroe had nothing to do on that possession there, but McCoy bails him out with a bad foul. And he's been shooting at 80% from the line today. He's 4 out of 5. So if you're the Falcons, this is who you want to see at the line.
And for the Marlins, they're definitely getting one of their, best tests from one of the best teams. They had tests from teams, you didn't expect them to be in a dogfight with. But now you're playing against a team that also has national title aspirations. And
so Monroe makes them both. It's a 6-point lead. Something to watch. 4 fouls on Malachi McCoy. But Coach Bowles can't go without him at this point. McCoy hasn't really been a factor because of foul trouble, just like Dean on the Falcons side. Just 1.5 boards from him. but you've got to trust him to play 4.5 minutes of foul-free basketball. Shepard gets it in the corner. Lowe looks to penetrate. Bell now does the same, nearly loses the handle. Gets it to Saunders. He tries to get it over in the corner. And it's a shot clock violation. The Falcons defense just had Doris Johnson out of sync that entire possession. If they're going to get back into this game, clearly it won't be on the offensive end. They have struggled all night. Their defense is going to have to get this done. So Adderley trapped in the backcourt, gets it back to Brennan. Falcons easily cross the timeline. Brennan gets the step. Just misses his chance for a three-point play. Shepard is going to be called for a block. But I think at that point, you know, a guy is driving the lane. He shoots a backwards layup. You've got to know this team needs me down the stretch. I can't afford to chance that trying to take a charge at this point.
No, definitely not. And, you know, this is one of those times where you kind of get reeled into making silly mistakes and trying to be overzealous. You're down big and, well, not big, but down 6 points and just want to do anything that will help your team.
I mean, 6 points looks like a lot more when we're under 4 minutes and you see that clock ticking. That starts to seep into your head. So Shepard trying to make a good defensive play at that point, but turns up with four fouls. That's just not the play you want to make. So they lose him for this final 4-minute stretch. Down 7, Mystic Marlins in desperate need of a bucket. 16 points in the first quarter, just 11 points since. And that one is blocked. Hall on the break. The Falcons blow another fast break opportunity.
But luckily bailed out that last win off the Marlins.
I know Coach Clark is going to tell his young point guard, next time you just got to take that one all the way. He had the step on everybody.
Right, or hit Eileen with a lob, but he just didn't see him on that trail into the rim.
Adderley goes baseline. Back out to Dames for 3.
Ooh.
Just rims out. But Eileen on the boards. Bell called for a block. He continues to make a difference off the bench on the boards. Didn't get that rebound, but tapped it out so Dames could come up with it, giving the Falcons a chance for a second chance opportunity. So Burrows and Sanders check back into the game for the Mystic Marlins. 34-27, 3:10 left in regulation. Hall controls the top of the key. Dames from the corner, misses another 3. Falcons can't save that one. With the way the Mystic Marlins offense has looked today, 27 points late here in the fourth, the Falcons may not have to score another basket and they can win this game.
Yeah, but, you know, Coach Clark, he's definitely not going to let that sink into their heads. He would really love to see his Falcons team, you know, to continue to pilot on the Marlins.
So Adderley gets called for a foul. And you can see him just pulling on the jersey of Malachi McCoy. He had good post position. So that was going to be an easy basket either way. Adderley fouls out. 2:47 left to play. But the way Alleen's been playing, and now you got Dean checking back into the game, the Falcons, their front court should be okay. Inbound to Bell. Screen by McCoy. Bell gets a step, but he loses it. Into the hands of Burrows. Shot fake. Saunders for 3. Long rebound goes to Ethan Monroe. So another empty offensive trip for the Mystic Marlins. McCoy backs off because he has 5. Dean gets it out to Brennan for 3.
Back-breaking 3.
Big three-pointer from Isaiah Brennan and a 10-point lead. And this entire gym knows that they are just 2 minutes away from an upset. Would this be the Falcons' biggest win of the season?
It definitely would. This is definitely, like I said before, this is a team they really wanted to see. And I think this would stack up right at the top with, them winning the Tip-Off Classic. And then coming off a tough loss to the St. George's Jaguars in the regular season championship. So.
And now that's 5 on Malachi McCoy. It's called on Bell. So Bell will check out of exit the game. Fouls out with 4 points. Ali into the line, banks into 3. And you've got to consider him the player of the game for Tabernacle. At a point where this team was struggling, Dean was in foul trouble. He came off the bench, and he has just been a force on both ends of the floor. And really got a lot of things going for the Falcons. Balfour mishandles it, but he gets control. Spin move goes nowhere. Out to low for 3, way short. Monroe gets it ahead. Dames controls Monroe for 3. Airballs it. Fast break opportunity. And Dames gets the easy layup. 11-point Falcons lead. Burrows pull up 3. Back rims it. Balfour tries to get it to McCoy. Another steal. Falcons come away with it. Brennan in the backcourt. And the Tabernacle Falcons pull off the upset in convincing fashion against Doris Johnson. Dames, will he finally get one? No.
The roof would have came off this gymnasium without winning.
So Tabernacle wins a game where Joshua Dames shoots 2 for 10 from the field, where Romad Dean plays less than 10 minutes, and where they shoot 29% themselves. Brendan pull-up J made the only 3 of the game for Tabernacle just moments ago. Burrows goes in for the late layup, but that'll do it. Tabernacle comes away with a 40-31 win over the top seeds. So we've now seen both top seeds in the pools suffer losses. St. George's had that early loss, and now Doris Johnson gets their first loss of the tournament. So Coach Bowles has to be hammering it to his team at this point. We've got to fix this offense. 16 points in the first quarter. They only scored 13 for the rest of the game, and I have not seen a game like that from Doris Johnson. I don't know what happened. I don't know if the Falcons defense was just that good, but they've got to get it fixed, and they've got to get it fixed fast.
Yeah, but This has kind of been the wake-up call I think the Doris Johnson Mystic Marlins kind of needed. Like I said, they were in dogfights with teams they had no business being in dogfights with, in my personal opinion. So now, coming up against a team like the Falcons, they know, okay, the next time, like from this moment on out, we have to be almost flawless with everything we do now.
So that'll do it for Doris Johnson at Tabernacle. Tabernacle comes away with a 40-31 win.